very first matchup. And now, for all the points, trying to make it through the knockouts. Let's see how far Shanyu Gaming can take it against the defending world champions. Again, one of the main properties of this draft that Falcon's AP Bren have brought in is just how deep they can go, how hard they can bring the CC over to XYG. How can this rather soft lineup go against that, Gideon? I'm worried. I'm worried about Long.
I mean, I'm worried about Long as well, but luckily he's taken the Purify, and in these types of situations, he's just got to live this laning phase against Super Marco, right? I mean, if he can win the lane against Super Marco, that's an even bigger statement, to be honest with you.
And again, there's a chip on Falcon's AP Bren's shoulders. They lost in the grand finals 0-4 against Liquid Echo, who's also playing this very same tournament, so they got to show up. They got to show up strong. Ogwin living here in the jungle. Again, this is one of the things that was alluded to, right, in the draft. Like, they can live inside Zed's jungle all they want.
Well, speaking of which, the first invasion coming in here from Kyle. Hopefully he's going to be able to get something off of it, but no, still dead even. XYG going to be in a pretty good position. Oh, the UI for the in-game equipment looks real nice as well. And at least it gives us an idea of what we should be expecting here. At the very least, both sides are going to be able to have Concealed open. And honestly, I think we didn't get to talk too much about Conceal as a, one of those roaming blessings. It's really, really useful. And I think even more so in this meta now compared to previously.
Yep, currently there are two very set heavy roamers that need to get in there via the Conceal, and that's going to be important for God Yang and Ogwin to get in there. Something to note as well, emblems. None of the new ones have come through, right? We're about 5 seconds away from the first turtle. Not a single Temporal Rain nor Warcry. So we're playing it close to the chest, seeing how these teams use what they know so far. That's what the meta we've been playing for the better part of the year. Kyle TZ, first up to the scene.
Yep. And surprisingly enough, right, you would expect the Julian to be able to actually want to play either Lethal Ignition, maybe if they really wanted to, Warcry as well, but Kyle opting to go for the Impure Rage. Now, God Yang, he's got to be really careful. He doesn't have a lot of escape mechanics, and it's better for him to actually hold on to that Flicker rather than, well, using it defensively.
Calling Falcon's AP Bren from their local homegrown league, I can tell you now that they're having an easy time, Gideon. This is... Very rarely does Falcon's AP Bren get a clean go at a turtle. I'm not so sure if XYG is actually just opening up the map, making sure that Long gets his farm, but so far, Ogwin barely needs to protect the buffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally a walking sentry guard, right? XYG are very careful around him, and I think worse yet, these team fights are going to be really difficult for XYG, so they really have to take their time, right? Wait for Falcons to make that move, make that first blow, and then look for the counter right hand.
So far, we're looking at about 500, 600 between these two teams. Team fight waiting to break out in the river. God Yang has been doing well. Again, he's checking on Kyle TZ, checking on Ogwin, but not exactly overextending. Are we waiting for him to make the first move, or is it going to be a counter initiation from XYG or Falcon's AP Bren finding them when the time is right? Because, again, you're looking at Kyle TZ also playing. Oh, coming in, implosion!
It's a good implosion. God Yang unable to get him out of there. That's going to be E1 dying over to Julian. Well done to Kyle TZ. Great initiation.
Say his name and he appears. You wonder when the fight's going to break out. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Julian now down bottom.
I mean, KLVJ should be okay for it now. He still has his battle spell, but this could be a setup to dive, right? Now look at the pressure that Falcon's AP Bren are pushing in towards Nolan's purple buff.
Oh no.
It's all looking good. Let's cut back over to that purple buff 3v3. Chains have already been used. Kyle, he's taking his time with this.
First blood, more than enough to actually bring in the aggression up top.
Oh, wait, the TP into the lane. Lung, does he know? Fuse already here, finds the yin-yang reaction. That's another kill, and that goes over to Super Marco. And the rest of AP Bren, they just pull away while this cross-map play happens.
I understand what happened to the international marksman. You can see in his face how he did not see that coming. No need to protect your girlfriends. He is out and about, but he's not going to be able to get any kills or any farm with the way Falcon's AP Bren has been playing. You know what I saw there, Gideon? That was sensory overload. They were fighting in the purple, and little did they know, a second later, oh, we're going to get the Moskov.
Yeah, I mean, these feints are dangerous, especially against the low E, but Kyle TZ, once again, securing the second turtle of the game. Very low kill count here, but you can just see that they are slowly finding these small bits of gold, a couple of camps here and there to put XYG behind.
Clearly what I'm seeing happening is Falcon's AP Bren setting the pace. This is their game. They're currently about 2,000 ahead now, 5 minutes in. And I'm thinking maybe what XYG can do is treat KLVJ like a threat magnet. Like, they tried to get him, right? Falcons even tried to get him. They have about 2 life bars at this point. I don't think he has any mortality just yet. And that should be the way to open up the rest of the map, because again, they're all long.
Yep, they're gonna try. They're trying to defend this dive against Long. They already called down the Eternal Guard, and Ogren, he's in a lot of trouble here. Enhanced Sword gets him out of there, but Super Marco finds 2 easily with a Lycan Pounce, and they also take the tier 1 on top side. A perfect dive coming in from Falcon's AP Bren. A good response from XYG, but they just do not have the stats to make this work, and even Long getting pushed back to the tier 2.
That's a 3 for none. Everything for the Falcons. Nothing much that the little monsters can do.
I mean, Kyle, he's really feeling himself here. He's looking to get an early Holy Crystal. Oh, once again, when the wave crashes, a kill ensues. Long dies over to the yin-yang reaction, and purple buff still secure by Zed. But at this point of time, Shanyu Gaming, they are slowing down. Falcons AP Bren, they're picking up the pace.
And now, again, the aforementioned solution for KLVJ to just hunker down, he's doing that and more. He's also clearing waves in mid, because again, it's hard for Yone to even try and hold it down, because again, the dive comp that Falcons AP Bren have drafted here, it's just too much. Now look, Ogo's gonna try to push Kiel in.
Yep, KLVJ, he's got to give this up, right? There's no point trying to build up that heat on 3 different people and a 4th coming in for the interception. It's better to just give it up for now. This mid game's not going well, but here comes the diversion into the mid lane just to get, wow, the tempo. I think that's what Falcon's AP Bren are trying to do. Zed gets pushed out, not getting anywhere close to this next 3rd turtle of the game.
So, buffs, forget about it. Turtles, forget about it. Shanyu Gaming, now 7 minutes down the wire, looking at the 3rd turtle taken away, has to live in the late game. Like, that's the only option left.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be rough, and I think the Dementia is going to start kicking in pretty early on. Look at Super Marco, currently 4-0.
There's a reason why they call him bulletproof, now in mid.
All right, once again, oh, penalty zone onto 3 into the backline, instantaneously. Flap Teasy sets it up for Super Marco once again. Who else? Can they hit another enhanced chains, maybe into another penalty zone? Everybody can set up for their boy Super Marco.
The Filipino cannon is blowing up right now. 001 does not tell the whole story. He had to push KLVJ out of that lane down bottom and tell Shanyu Gaming it's not free. You try to split the map up, it's not going to be for free. And now Shanyu's trapped in their own side of them. I don't even call it their own side of the map. I think they're renting from Falcons AP Bren at this point.
They really are. And I think that at this point, XYG, they need to start counting their odds. They got to roll the dice a little bit against Falcons AP Bren, because if this keeps on going, that's going to be a 10K gold lead sooner rather than later.
Tomato fried egg seems to be on the menu for the Falcons, and this time around, look at this. They're trapped in their own little corner for the orange. Good news is Zed got it. Bad news is it looks like Falcons is setting up for another big 2 for none, 3 for none, and then set up for the 30 seconds. Lord, here comes the implosion!
Great implosion. Oh, straight away they peel him up and they find Ogwin. But now, at least with the peel, all of the help of KLVJ, they're able to get back on out of there. And this is what we were looking for from XYG, the counter right hand against Falcons AP Bren with big ultimates.
The first costly trade for Falcons now. Zed going hunting.
Yeah, he finds it, but can he finish that kill? Super Marco manages to get out Zed. He didn't want to commit 100%.
All right, close call. But again, XYG is not in any shape or form to try and overextend. A win is a win, but you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Lord has spawned now in the upper quarter of the map. Bottom side, still relatively clean. At equilibrium, again, that's the best that XYG can ask for right now. Marco on top of the kill charts, and now we might start what they would call a dance here, but I don't know, the metagame has changed enough that nobody can dance anymore.
And honestly, I think they don't exactly have the most amount of sustainability. Even like for Flap Teasy, despite already completing that War Axe, probably can't hold on to this lord for very long.
Yeah.
You can see Kyle, he's getting chunked out.
Yeah, BOS can't help you time travel, man. This ain't 2021, folks. The dance ain't here. Here comes the conceal. Kill VJ first up. Ogwin looking for one. Kyle Teasy secures the retry.
No. They'll take anything at this point. They got the Faraga armor, which is pretty good, but I think Falcons AP Bren, they're fishing right now. They're fishing for XYG, looking for any sort of advantage, but on the opposite side of the map, we are seeing that Long will be able to crash down onto a tier 1.
He's working. Again, he has a dream. Let's get out of the 10-minute mark and see where we end up from there. Lord marching up top, enhanced wave in tow. Oh, that's Zed caught out in the middle. He's got to go home, got to recall. And now the defense. Oh, look at this. I think all waves are going to crash in at the same time.
Yep, they've synced it up really well. Just get rid of the mid one first, right? Get rid of that tier 2, and then we start focusing on everything else. Tier 2s are all going to start crashing down. I feel like Falcon and AP Bren, they might be able to try and contest for one of these inhibitors, but as we saw previously, those ults, they're dangerous.
Here we go.
The in-game reaction onto Long, he's already chunked down. Firaga armor also gone as well, but with the Eternal Guard, they buy enough space to crack this open. Inhibitor, 50% HP, still alive. Next is the mid wave. Finally, they have to do the sync with top and bottom.
Holy Shields already taken down. Top and mid, bottom left for Zed to go in. No, penalty zone.
He finds 2. Long is trying to peel them away, knocks them back, and Godyang takes the damage. He doesn't mind. He has the Radiant armor, but Falcon's AP Bren smile as they walk away. A missing inhibitor on First Lord. You couldn't ask for more.
FlapTZ is looks maxing. He mewed right into 3, catches 2 with a DPZ, and I'm talking about that deadly penalty zone. And it was more deadly for turrets than it was for heroes. Again, Shanyu Gaming not out of it quite yet, but they're still crawling, man. 10K between these two teams right now.
Yep, 10K, and even more so, they are... Oh, they're committing war crimes in their jungle, leaving just the small camps, not giving him a full buff as well.
They're starving him. It's tough. As a Nolan, you guys know this. We are currently in the age of the Trinity jungler. Sustain, utility, and damage, as said by our panel. But again, when you're in this kind of situation and you're looking at a roster, a lineup that's as fed as Falcon's AP Bren, then it's going to be tough. Man, let's talk about this. An early Queen's Wings.
As an EXP later, I'm looking at my boy here, and I'm like, you greedy Terizla
Pretty
player.
Sigma. That's pretty Sigma right there.
It's very Sigma. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if he goes for the brute force breastplate, hey, you know that Falcon's AP Bren are confident to take this away. I mean, considering the engagements, right?
It's giving hard dive. And now we're looking for another diversion. It's been quite a while. I'd say 5 or 6 minutes since we last saw a huge rotation that led to a big take for Falcon's AP Bren. But this does mean XYG gets a little bit of time to breathe. But I don't know if that's enough time.
No.
I'd say they maybe need 5 minutes, min.
I think so. Well, even with the 5 minutes, I don't think they'll be able to catch up unless they get like a full team wipe against Falcon's AP Bren. And I think that's the scariest part for XYG, right? A single bad fight for them, that's game over.
And here's what's difficult. Having seen, oh, here we go, throwing out the SOD, going home,
right?
Not going to force it. All right. Watching XYG's qualifiers, watching, oh, here we go!
What a diversion! They didn't even see it coming! It's too late! The Eternal Guard comes down, but nothing to guard! Their marksman is already down. Godgang is forced to flicker away.
Oh.
And Super Marco, come on, man. Know your limits. Stay back. Keep him on the leash.
Few, let me finish my sentence. But yes, great take by Falcon's AP Bren, shocking even us in the studio. XYG's minimum or average game time is 15 minutes. How do you even expect to go longer?
Yup, and that's going to be KLVJ losing all the penalties on a follow it up. They don't want them to go back into the fountain. They're going to start farming them under it as they close out this game. GG, well played. That's